Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. So today on this video, I'm about to continue the latest part of CCNA explanation. So there's a bit lag here. So the last I'm explaining about what is the function of switch, and alright, so let's just alright, next we will break down about the function of virtual LAN, so what it is for, and how does it work, and others. So without waste any time, let's just deep dive into the material. Alright, so what is the meaning of filing of virtual LAN? Alright, in a minute. So let's slow down and really unpack VLAN so you could comfortably spend time. Alright, so what is VLAN? And I'll explain it in simple analogy. Virtual LAN is a way to divide one physical network into multiple logical networks. Imagine an office building floor with many desks connected to the same set of network switches. Physically, they're all on the same wiring. VLAN lets you split that physical wiring into different virtual rooms, so people in one room VLAN can talk to each other as if they were on their own separate network, even though the cables and switches are shared. So VLANs create separate broadcast domains logically. That's your grow up a device by function, department, security level, or others policy, not just by physical location. Why use VLANs? Uh, the benefits of VLANs itself is to segmentation and security. So separate finance PCs from guests' Wi-Fi, so guests can reach internal resources. That's one of the function of virtual LANs itself. And the second one is reduce broadcast traffic. So broadcasts stay inside the VLAN and or the virtual LAN and don't float the whole network. And that is the second, the function of silence. And the third is flexibility. Move a user between VLANs by changing a switch port assignment, recabling, and policy control. Apply firewall rules, QoS or SCL as per VLAN. Organizational mapping and map logical groups for cells, voice servers, interrupt, and irrespective of which switch room they're in. And the next, how VLAN works, the mechanics. Each VLAN is logical layer 2 network with its own broadcast domain. Switch ports are configured as either access single VLANs untagged or trunk carry multiple VLANs with tags. Switch keep a MAC address table per VLAN, so frames are virtual LAN. So frames are learned and forwarded but only with that VLAN or virtual. To talk between VLANs, you need routing, either a route or a layer 3 switch. And actual tag IAA 802.1q or 802.1q is standard VLAN tagging method where a frame crosses a trunk, an extra 4-byte field is inserted, into the Ethernet header, and the actual tag from IAA, or yeah, it's like TPID, stands for Tag Protocol ID. That means 0x1100 identifies and 802 1Q tag. And TCI tag control information contains PCP priority code point, 3 bits for QAS priority, and DII drop eligible indicator, 1 bit. And file ID, 12 bits, 0 4095 range. File IDs 1 4094 are typically usable, 0 and 40,095 reserved. Some vendors reserve specific range like 1002 or 1005 on Cisco. Frames belonging to VLAN 10 will carry tag VLAN 10 when traversing trans links. And access versus trunk ports vertical. Access port connects to a single end device. Traffic is unattached. The switch assigns the port to VLAN X at VLAN 10. The device doesn't know about VLANs. Switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 10 Cisco. And alright, and the trunk port connects to another switch, root, or trunk capable device. Carries frames of multiple VLANs using 102 1Q stacks. You can control which VLANs are allowed on the trunk and set a native VLAN attached on the trunk. That sounds really complicated. You might search by your own, because it's hard to explaining in simple language itself. Logical separation and routing into VLAN device in VLAN 192.168 point n point 10.0/24 and VLAN 20 192.168.20.20/24 cannot talk to each other at layer 2. Communicate, you need inter-VLAN routing. Router on a stick, a router interface with multiple sub-interface, each stack for a VLAN or purple. And layer 3 switch, switch interface, create interface VLAN 10 with an IP DL3, routes between SPIs, example route on a stick sub interface, and simple commands, kickstarters, create VLAN and exchange ports, drop and common VLAN types use cases. The first is data VLAN for normal workstation traffic, like e.g. VLAN 10 cells, VLAN 20 HR. And the next is voice VLAN for IPI phones, phone stack, or use LLDP, CDP to sign off. Voice VLAN allows QoS. And the gas VLAN for gas Wi-Fi with restricted access, server DMZ VLAN, and put servers in a separate VLAN with a specific firewall rules. And the next is management virtual LAN for switch or router management interface. Keep it as isolated and secure. Native VLAN often set to unused VLAN for security reasons. And yeah, broadcast multiple RFA and RFPN broadcasts are contained with a VLAN. They don't cross a trunk into other VLAN unless explicitly forwarded by a router. This containment reduces noise broadcast traffic across the whole campus network and security consideration and best practice. So VLANs improve installation, but they're not a silver bullet. Here are practical controls. Avoid using VLAN 1 for management or native. Use a dedicated unused VLAN for native. Disable trunking auto negotiation or DTP on access port on Cisco switch port negotiation and switch port mode trunk only on intent trunks. Sell all unused use ports to parking VLAN and shut them down, administratively down or put in an isolated VLAN. And port security limit MAC address per port to stop unauthorized device, and take the native VLAN if supported for use unused native VLAN to mediate double tagging attacks. ACL firewall control interference traffic on VLANs. And disable unused protocol and configure PPD would where operate VLAN hopping attack awareness. Spoofing attackers will switch into making trunk agitate when disable TTP using the RN double tagging attackers greatly to 802 1 queues tags. And the next VLAN management and distribution VTP, GVRP, and etc. VTP or Cisco Virtual Trunking Protocol can propagate VLANs to multiple switches automatically. It has model servers, client, and standard. And that's all for today explanation. Hopefully y'all could be understand what I'm explaining. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.